art that might hide away from what may be the political character of its compositional proposals or poetic act. That, too, is a political statement. The words of Pedro Barrero, the artistic director of Espaço do Tempo. Art is inherently an instrument of politics because it carries ideological weight. Who painted it? When did they paint it? Why did they paint it? What materials did they use when they painted it? Why is it that Rothko's abstract 4 darks and reds are not black nor brown and hold undertones of many different colors, yet none of them are remotely dark? It is almost as if the painting is classified as something it's not. Who gets to classify that painting as a fraud? Why are they painted in such intense and vibrant reds? These are all political questions because it shapes idea. As Aristotle argued, politics is fundamentally concerned with the human good and how we should live. You can extract the same meaning from observing a painting. Every step of the process of curating great art is political. Politics is the set of activities and processes associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations between individuals, such as the distribution or resources or status. Well, what about how art is distributed? It is caged in museums behind barriers of glass. Maria Brito argued the art market may be the clearest form of power dynamics in the 21st century. Museums are funded by usually white male billionaires, corporations, governments who get to shape what gets to be seen and what must be erased. If you look at the type of art presented in Germany's Degenerate Art exhibit in the summer to fall of 1937, it created a clear dichotomy between political ideals of Nazi Germany and what was considered un-German. Despite Emil Nolde's keen support for the totalitarian Nazi regime, 33 of his artworks were placed in the exhibit. Particularly one stands out. Masks 9/11, made in 1911, presents an uncanny image of replications of faces of fantastical horror costumes. George R. Orwell stated all art is propaganda, but not all propaganda is art, and seemed to be misunderstood in this sense. Art does not exist in a vacuum. It simply normalizes specific political ideas, or perhaps in this case, morals. Linking back to my idea about Rothko's 4 darks and reds and who classified the painting as something it's not, Masks 911 is still relevant in understanding why art was used as a weapon 30 years after the painting was completed. Germany's European mission, made in 1941, presented a proud eagle illustrated as a king ruling over the earth. In Nazi Germany, the eagle was a symbol of strength, power, sovereignty, and racial supremacy. Therefore, all art reinforces political ideology because it was the media that the majority consumed. Germany's public image was important. They could not let people see them as hiding behind masks as presented in Masks 911. They controlled what the majority can see. There are similarities within The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, where the eyes of gods are the intelligence and enforcement branch of Gilead's totalitarian government, and the aunts gouge out Janine's right eye. The book alludes to the Nazi regime throughout certain violent and dehumanizing acts of control. Again, from the words of Maria Brito, if art doesn't challenge, question, or provoke, it risks becoming nothing more than an expensive ornament. Denise Kurdi on The Eagle argued people viewing art only as valuable because of its political connection strips it of its autonomy. This is a flawed way of looking at art because it can lead to people to consider art valuable only so long as it furthers whatever political cause they see it as supporting. The quality of art is reduced to its political importance rather than the genuine human expression behind it. Art that is strictly political becomes propaganda. Looking at the Nazi regime's posters where the emotional importance behind it is removed. It is simply an act of manipulation, and it has no core value other than to brainwash individuals into thoughtlessness and obedience, lacking complete agency.